What's going on, everybody? We're going to do a live stream. What's tonight? Thursday night. Yeah, something a little different. I figured why not, right? There again, I like to say this all the time, but you guys work different shifts and you have different hours, so I like to mix it up, right? So I figured we'd do a quick live stream tonight and talk to you guys and explain to you a little bit about why I'm the way that I am. And I want to apologize for the way that I am because I know not a lot of people, truly understand it. And tonight we're going to talk about that. So, who all we got in the house? What's going on, Kaboom? Yeah, say what? So tonight, I want to basically discuss my mindset and why I'm like I am. Now, I do have my hat on backwards, but tonight's probably not going to be church, if I'm being honest with you guys. But, a lot of you have got a lot of questions as, to why I don't, do certain things. And we're going to talk about that. So what's going on, Mike J? What's going on, Bravo Man? Santa Stang? Fox Life? Yeah. So, yeah, just a chill night. What's going on, Donnie B in the house? So, yeah, it's pretty much just a chill night. I got to thinking, I was looking at the cars and I'm starting to kind of itch a little bit, if I'm being honest. The gray car over here. I'll give you guys a little bit of an update. So, let me turn the camera around. You guys don't look at me. So the Carbon Fox is getting pretty close to where we want this car to be. We've got the meth installed on it, and I have an update tune that we're going to throw in this car tonight, right? So this thing should be somewhat of an animal. Well, today I'm looking through the video of this car right here, of the Carbon Fox. I'm looking through the video to find a thumbnail. So I typically do that if you guys don't know how the whole YouTube thing works. Sometimes I don't actually take a picture of these cars or a specific thumbnail for what we're doing. So what I'll do is I'll kind of like track through, the video, and I'll find a thumbnail. Well, what I noticed about this car last time we drove it was as I'm clicking through frame by frame on this gray car, I saw the boost gauge doing this. Like from 15 pounds, it pegged at 15 pounds, and then this thing just dropped off to 10 pounds, back to like 11 or 12, and just kind of bounced. Well, you guys, tell me, what is that? What's happening with the gray car causing it to do that? It's a supercharged car, so you guys know what's going on, right? Yeah. So we got belt slip. No, not a boost leak. Actually, we fixed that. We've got belt slip on this car, and it is, yes, exactly. There you go. We did have a boost leak, and anyway, we fixed all that, and I didn't notice it because it happened so fast. I mean, this needle's doing this, right? So in real time, you don't notice it a lot, but when you go back and you go frame by frame, you can see to where this thing's just dropping boost and trying to bring it back, and then it slips again. Or at least that's what I think anyway. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, there could be another issue, but judging by the way that it jumped up and then dropped, more than likely it's going to be belt slip. But here's the point. Here's the point of me saying that. I felt like the car wasn't making maybe the power that it should. Don't get me wrong now. The car is pretty fast, but I had this thought in my head that, there it is. The Retro Fox kind of feels a little more violent than the gray car. Now, the gray car at one point did feel faster than the red car. But here lately, I've been kind of questioning. I'm like, you know what? I think this red car, the Retro Fox, may skin up the Carbon Fox. And that should not happen. Guys, we got a TI trim on this thing. We've got meth injection now. Thing's got way better heads, more compression, just better cam. I mean, all this stuff, right? Built AOD. I'm like, hold on, something's not right. Well, there you go. I think we figured it out. So, with that being said, kind of got me thinking, when are we going to get these cars to the track or either out, in the road somewhere to where we can test these things out? We used to do a lot more of that on the channel. Once upon a time, me and Andrew and other people were out, we'll say, testing these cars. We made a couple trips to Mexico, and we made one track visit with this car right here, but it didn't fare too well. We blew through the clutch and pretty much smoked it, and that's when everything changed on this car, and we've not been back to the track since then. But I feel like, you know, I want to talk to you guys about why I don't, go racing, maybe like you want me to. Now, good friend of mine, Neo, we all know him. He does a lot of racing, and I love Neo to death. And I would never sit here and downplay the track, right? I love it. Honestly, I'd love to give you guys a lot more track footage, but here's the deal. And I want to talk about this tonight with you guys. I somewhat grew up at the track, okay? I grew up going to the track and, enjoying my time there, with my dad, with my parents. As time went on, I started racing. I've raced bikes, I've raced cars. And here's the thing. The track is a great place, and I love it, but it's not for everybody. It's like a drug. So you got to understand, the track is like a drug, right? When you go and when you start going and you get the bug, right? When you get bit, it's almost impossible to stay away. And it's almost impossible to not upgrade your car and not try to outrun that guy beside you, or, whether it's somebody in your local, town, in your local area, whatever. It happens, and you guys understand what I'm trying to say here. Everybody gets it. Like I said, Neo goes to the track all the time, and it gets uber freaking competitive. I gave all that up about 6 years ago. Right before I started my channel, I gave up pretty much the track stuff, and we had Memphis, my 7-year-old. So we had her, and I made a couple trips to the track while we still had her. I was racing bikes and stuff, and I would run my Cobra occasionally. But I got out of it because it's highly addictive. And I know everybody wants to see these cars at the track, but you got to understand, this isn't 1320, videos. This isn't that, that racing, that street racing channel or something along those lines. I work a full-time job, and, I do YouTube somewhat as a hobby, but really a second job. And I'm so scared that if we go back to the track, that I'm going to get hooked again. And at the moment, I don't feel like that's the right thing to do for my family. Camley, my youngest, is 4 years old, and Memphis is 7. Madison, she's 19, so she's doing her own thing. But, it required, like, having your own home and working a full-time job and doing something like this requires so much attention from you when you have the time, because I'm either always out here videoing, working on a car, or working, right? So when I do have time off, I usually spend it, with the family. To break away from that and start racing again scares the shit out of me. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I catch the bug so often. It happens realistically probably once or twice a month. It catches me, and I just want to go to the track. I want to throw full suspension on this car, a set of slicks and, upper and lower control arms, all that type stuff, and really start pushing. But guys, you know what happens when you go to the track and you get your ass outrun by Joe Blow, Billy Bob, whoever. You're going to want to come back bigger and better. And right now, I just don't think that that's the thing for me. So I wanted to explain that, like I said, a little more in detail as to why you've not seen these cars at the track. I know that it's something that you want to see, and it's something that I want to show you, but I'm really trying to balance about 10 different things right now. Yeah, Bama 5.0 is correct. The track is as bad as crack, and it truly is. Now, for some of you, you can go to the track and you can go home and you don't really care. For me, let's be honest here. I have a YouTube channel. I don't mind showing you guys the real deal. If I get outrun, I get outrun. But I also don't want to go to the track and fail miserably. And if I do, then the pressure is going to be on me to go out, and really perform the next time and really, fix whatever the issue was. And it becomes all-consuming. So I try my best to stay away from that because I know what's going to happen. all the money that this channel generates, we put it right back into the channel. And it usually works out great because we're able to buy parts and we're able to drive these cars and enjoy them and, consistently or constantly upgrade these things and try to make them better and share tips and tricks with you guys. Here's the thing. Yes, I've drag raced a pretty good bit in my time, but I'm not Neo. I'm not Turbo John or John Doc or whoever it is that you watch, okay? I'm not that guy. And the racing community as a whole is some of the biggest know-it-alls that you'll ever run across in your whole entire life. They know everything, and you're always doing something wrong. And I just really don't know if I want to bring that negativity to the channel. So I hope you guys can appreciate that and at least understand. But with that being said, I do think it's about time for us to start to do more. I feel like I've let everybody down with the fact that we've not really, run these cars much. But there's a caveat to this. There's a reason to why this is happening. In the past, it would usually be me and Andrew or somebody like that. And a lot of the stuff didn't get recorded back in the day whenever we were doing this, simply because I didn't really know the YouTube guidelines. I didn't know what to expect, and I didn't want to get in a lot of trouble. Plus, with my current job, I have to be very careful. But since then, Andrew works a lot more like overtime and just hours in general. Same as me. I work so much now that, it's kind of in the back of my mind, but it's not something that we think of a lot. But I've actually spoke with him, and we both agree that we've got to get these cars back out. If it's nothing but on the street for a couple of hits, do some burnouts, do some draggy times, whatever the case may be. I think I owe it to you guys because you've supported me throughout this whole thing for 5 years now. We've been on YouTube, and you guys have supported me, and you've heard my excuses and everything else. But here's what I'll say. We probably won't be full-time track guys. Like, I don't think that that's going to happen, or at least I hope not. But I do want to get these cars back to the track. So with that being said, I want to ask you guys, what do you want to see realistically? And hearing what I just told you, what would you like to see from all of these cars? I'll give you a quick rundown, and shout out to Gearhead704, man. I appreciate that. Let me see what you said here. Man, I used to think Brutal was Brutuel. Yeah, you and everybody else, man. But it's cool either way. So, shout out to you. So, the gray car pretty much is done. The only thing left is our final tune, which I'm about to load in tonight. And I'll give you guys the video on that tomorrow. Maybe a set of slicks or probably some Hoosier QuickTime Pros, some 28s on the back of this car. And I think that's going to be about it. That's about the extent that we're going to take this car, other than a little bit of suspension, okay? So, this car just is what it is. I can't give you any horsepower numbers on it. I don't know, probably around 500 or so. The red car's pretty much done. It needs some upper and lower control arms and a few little tweaks here and there, but it is what it is. It's stock bottom end car, like the original engine that came in this thing, with the S trim, stock lower intake with a Hartman upper intake, B303 cam, SVE heads. I don't know. This car probably makes about 460 to the tires. I don't know, maybe 420 to 460. I don't know. Okay, this car. This is the one that everybody always wants to ask about. This car is a Dart Block 347 stroker. It's got a 70 millimeter turbo on it. It's got really good stuff. I mean, it's got full freaking Team Z suspension on it, or upper lower control arms, BMR torque box reinforcements, blah, 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 TKX transmission. You guys get it. A spool, 35 spline axles, but it's got a very small turbo on it. That turbo is not going to work for what we want to do with this thing. So we got to make some decisions on it. We can get this car out and we can run it, but we're running out of fuel at about 6 pounds of boost. I mean, this thing's making some good power. So we're probably around the 500 to 550 wheel mark, probably about 500. Probably about 500 to the wheels, okay? What do you guys want to see? Do you want to see these things out in the street? I got a feeling, as of right now, this car is probably still the fastest on like 5 or 6 pounds of boost. And I want to be honest with you, I don't know which one's faster between the freaking red car and the gray car. Right now, I'd say the red car would give the gray car a damn good run. Also, Andrew's car will be over here probably in the next month or so. He's working a lot of overtime right now as well, so he's not able to come over. Some more street time I'm seeing. Let me go back and read through some of the stuff. Car shows, more street time. Sorry for being awesome. Hey, everyone. What's going on, Mustang Guy 6501? Some dyno videos. All right, so Gary, that's something that gets brought up a lot. So the dyno videos are very hard for me to do because we have nobody around here that actually has a dyno. We used to have a couple of them. A couple of my good friends actually had dynos. And if you guys would have gotten up with me 5, 6, 7 years ago, we could have dynoed cars every single day and it wouldn't have been a problem. But I really don't have any connections anymore. I think the closest place is Panama City, Lynn Haven, which is like Panhandle Performance. They have a dyno. There's a couple other people down around the Panama City area that have dynos as well. Dynos, I'm not big on dynos. I'm not. I don't care what the dyno number says. I know they're good for milking every little bit of horsepower out because you have it on the dyno and you can tune it and you can see that it made more power. So I do agree that dynos are very effective in what they do, but a good street tune is also very effective. But I understand for you guys, you want to know what these setups are making. So we'll see what we can do. We'll see. I'm just not into the whole dyno thing. You know, if this was a full-time, I want you guys to understand something. If YouTube was a full-time gig for me, like this is what I did, you'd see a lot of changes. I would really focus on showing you guys what it is that you want to see because, I mean, that would be of the utmost importance, right? But you have to understand for me to do things like that are really hard because I work a full-time job and I have kids and a family and a life outside of YouTube. So it's really hard for me to break free just to go do something like that. But I've kind of hinted around. Maybe by the middle of next year, I'll just tell you guys, maybe we can go full-time YouTube. It's going to take, you know, the continued support from you guys. And it's going to take me really cracking down and doing what I need to do to break away from a job that I've worked at for 20 plus years, okay? But I do have plans and aspirations of next year, maybe around the middle of the year, so possibly going full-time YouTube. At that point, you guys will see a different style. You'll see more track videos. You'll see more events. You'll see dynos. You'll see all of that. So I need everybody to understand that it's not that I don't want to show it to you or I'm just too lazy. It's just that, like, this is a part-time thing for me, okay? I know, you know, we get so accustomed to YouTubers doing this full-time that we think that everybody does it that way, but it's not the case. All right. Okay. So let me go ahead and address something else. So Michael just mentioned something about build something really different. Okay, so here's the deal. Guys, at the moment, I can't build anything else. I can't take any more projects on. I'm out of space, as you guys can see. I have the 65 Fastback that's up front in the garage, and I have 3 cars that have to sit in the shop. One of the cars has to go on a lift and go up so that the other car can go under it. At the moment, I can't take on any more cars, any more projects. I've turned down a dirt cheap 4-eyed coupe just because basically it was going to be almost given to me. I don't have the time. I honestly don't have the funds, and it's just really, really hard to do, okay? If we go full-time with this, we'll expand the shop. We'll do a couple things with some lean-tos where we can keep these cars. But for right now, it's just not really in the mix. Gearhead 704. When Brutal goes full-time, yeah, I have hope at part-time. So, Gearhead, I appreciate it, man. Also, I'm going to be going live with Infamous Project tomorrow. So we're going to do a podcast format video tomorrow. So you guys tune in for that. So check out. Look, you know, I used to do this a lot. I used to give everybody shout outs. And I want to say this. There's so many people right now that I can't remember everybody's name. Look around, though. There are tons of people doing Fox Body content now that didn't do it a couple of years ago, okay? So look around and see. You know, maybe my channel isn't for you. Maybe you just don't like the sound of my voice. Well, I promise you there's enough people out there now where you can find somebody that you like. So check them all out. You would do well full time, JB's Garage. So it's scary. That's a scary thing. You know, I have 401k, I have retirement, I have a pension, I have all of this stuff right now that's available to me. It would be very scary to leave that. But here's the thing: since I was a little kid, I knew that I wanted to do something with cars, and I feel like now I have that ability. And you know, to have a YouTube channel for 5 years now and to make this work. Now, I know that this channel is not huge. I mean, we have like, what, 45,000 subscribers. I'm very happy for that. And within this niche community, I feel like that's a lot. And that's something to be proud of. But it's obviously not, you know, a million or even 200,000. But here's the thing. I feel like if I go full time, I would have more time to show you guys some other stuff and talk about other things and really experiment. You know, getting a ticket for, you know, drag racing or laying drag or showing your ass in the road wouldn't be a game changer for me. I mean, it would suck. Yeah, you pay the fine, you do whatever. Right now, if that were to happen to me, I could possibly lose my job. So you guys understand what I'm saying? I have to be very reserved on the channel right now because of that. Sean, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. So let's see. The silent one says, brutal. They might do Fox content, but they don't do it like you do. Well, I appreciate that. You know, everybody's got their own take and angle on this. You know, some of the things that I wish I would have done different, looking back now, since you mentioned that with the channel, is really emphasize and go into more detail on some of the things that I do on the channel. Because, you know, when I first started this channel, I felt like I had to prove myself to you guys. And that was my angle. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm like, I'm going to get a Fox body, which was the red car. Let me turn the camera around. Which was actually this red car right here, right? I bought this car as a hunk of junk. I mean, it smoked from every orifice that it could and leaked, and it was horrible. But we took this car and we jumped on it and we got it done. And I wanted to prove to you guys that I was who I say that I was at the time. And that was somewhat of a very mild build. We did some body work, some paint, some interior work, and just sealed everything up and got this car to be probably one of my favorites, honestly. But at that point, I'm like, okay, you know, we've solidified our spot in the Fox body community. These people know that I'm not just bullshitting them and telling them stuff that I don't know about. And then it was on to the next car, and then it became the Calypso. And the Calypso was probably one of my favorite builds, but I took it too far, too quick, without really seeing it through. And, you know, it happens, right? We all do it. You know, we went spool in the back, and I should have known better. I hate the spool in this car, and the interior is, I got to put everything back together. Look, guys, I've never even put the Holly. I never finished, like, putting it all under the seat and everything else. I just kind of got tired of it. It's a fast car. It's a fun car, but it is what it is. And then on to this car. This car over here was something that was, you know, dedicated to my mom. If you guys don't know, my mom passed away earlier this year, very, very unexpectedly. And one of the last things that we talked about was this car. A buddy of mine, John Fowler, had it, and he offered it to me for sale. And I consulted my mom, and I asked her, I said, you know, what do you think I should do, you know, with the channel? I really need to remind everybody that we can do what we say we can do. And I want to show people that they can push themselves and do any damn thing that they want to do. I think this car would be great for the channel, you know, and I consulted in her, you know, and we sat down and we talked about it. And she said, you know, son, I think that's the right thing to do, is to get this car and once again show people that you are who you say you are and remind them that they can do this as well. Well, shortly after that, you know, things changed, obviously. And, you know, I felt like this was my chance to, you know, honor her and do this car. So that's what we did. We jumped on this thing, and, you know, it's not the nicest. It's not the best. But what we tried to do with this car especially was knock it out in a very, very quick time frame and show you guys that you can be proud of anything that you've got. It doesn't have to be perfect. You know, we decided to leave the engine bay red on this. That was one of my wife's, you know, ideas. Hold on. Let me wipe this camera off. And I know for a lot of you guys, you're like, why in the hell did you leave that? but it was just something different. But this car, I hoped at least that this car proved to everybody that you can do more than you think you could. We painted this thing in this shop right here, right? And we set up a couple tents and we wrapped some bisqueen around them, and we painted this car, and it's a straight car. It's not perfect, but it looks good, right? You know, that's the whole goal of this channel is, you know, to remind you guys that you can do any damn thing that you want to do. So, you know, everybody's got a different take on it, I guess. I kind of got sidetracked there, long-winded. But everybody's got a different take on it. You know, the infamous Project, you know, he's up and coming now. He's got a different take. He's more of a perfectionist. And I don't mean that in a good or bad way. It just is what it is, right? I'm more of get it done, drive the shit. If it doesn't, you know, look the best or isn't the best, that's fine. You got Foxcast that does, you know, I don't want to label him as the coyote swap guy because obviously he's done a lot more than that. But Caleb shows you that, you know, you can coyote swap these cars and kind of what to expect out of it. And Gearhead, you know, when he first started, he didn't really know a lot about these cars. And since then, he's grown a lot, right? You know, Fox Chamber, just so many others. Neo shows you how to really drag race and what you can push these cars to. Everybody does it differently. I'm a talker. I shoot from the hip. I never write anything down. I never have any ideas that I jot down. I just grab the damn phone or the camera and we just get after it. And that's kind of what this channel is. You know, the production on this channel is as low budget as it can possibly be and as straightforward as it can be. You know, that's something that later on that I'd really like to change. I'd like to ramp it up. I want it to be as authentic as it can possibly be. Don't get me wrong. But, you know, I feel like you guys deserve, you know, better content, more content, a little more editing. But as it stands right now, you know, we do what we can do. We got the War Admiral in the house. We got Handling Motorsports in the house, guys. Look, we got everybody in the house tonight. Hold on, who was that? Somebody sent something. So $20 Adventures with, I'm sorry, I can't read it. But thank you so much for that. Yeah, guys, we're trying to do what we can do here. We're trying to make our way in life. So hopefully by next year, you know, we'll be able to do something a little more full time. But if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. You know, this isn't going to be a church session tonight. You know, I'm not going to get anybody's ass, but I really do want to remind people, you know, and I mention this all the time, and I don't feel like it really gets through to people, but we all have money issues, right? I mean, or at least I'm not a rich guy, and I know a lot of you aren't. Even if you make $200,000 a year, you still have to budget yourself, right? You can't go out and buy anything and everything that you want, unless you're just a multi-millionaire, billionaire. But here's the thing, you know, money always poses a problem for what we're trying to do in our lives, especially with cars. But so much of this is mental. I say this all the time, and I feel like it just goes over everybody's head, and they're like, yeah, this guy's saying the same thing. Think about what I'm telling you. The issues that we have in life, the problems that we have, and the stress that we put on ourselves, it's all in your own head. Now, truly think for a second of what I'm telling you. You think things are so bad, right? Oh, you don't understand, Brutal. My wife just lost her job. I got 12 kids. I've heard it all, guys. I've heard it all. I've been there. Your boy's been there, right? If anybody understands, my ass understands. But here's what I'm telling you. Get that shit out of your head. You could be living in a cardboard box, and you know, you could be to the point where you couldn't watch this video because your ass didn't have a cell phone or a TV or a computer, right? So anybody watching this right now is privileged, and I need you to understand that. You've got enough in this world. Possibly, you need to reprioritize your life. Maybe you need to get rid of that boat that you got, or that camper, or that whatever the hell it is, okay? There's so much more that you can do with your money. You just have to think about it. Money is what it is. There's a pot. Imagine a pot of money sitting right here. And that amount of money is what you've got. It's up to you to figure out how you're going to disperse this money. Okay? Use it here, use it there. You know, it's not all about cars. Okay? You know, we get so caught up in talking about cars, and we think that that's the most important thing, but it's really not. Your mental health is obviously the most important thing ever. So you have to do what you have to do to make you happy. But I think a lot of times we think we're happy and we're not. We think building these cars or buying the next car or whatever the case may be is going to make us happy, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's, fixing some issues you got in your house. Maybe it's fixing, some issues that you've got going on in your life in general. But my point is this: it's all mental, right? You have to think about how much worse life could be for you. And you also have to look at these people who are happy in their life with what they've got. Guys, I live in southeast Alabama, okay? And I'm going to tell you something. You guys see it everywhere. I mean, it's everywhere. There are people here that have nothing. They have nothing. They live off of food stamps. They live, in some run-down, just god-awful living situation as far as we think, right? We think, oh, man, that would suck to live there. Look at some of these people. Some of these people living in these situations are some of the happiest people you will ever come across. Now, hear me out. Who's to say that they're wrong? Who's to say you should be laughing at them? Maybe they should be laughing at us for the silly shit that we think is important. There's so many people in this world that are happy to have a lot less than you. There's so many people out there that don't have a pot to piss in, and they're happier than you are. There's your proof right there. You don't need to look any further than that. It's all mental. It's all mental. Your situation could be so much worse. Okay? I need everybody to understand that. Along those lines. And also, you can still do so much more. There again, you just got to have a little bit of faith in yourself and get out there and try different things. Okay, that's what I want everybody watching this shit right now. There's 132 of you watching at this moment, and I want you all to understand that you can do more. You can do more and not stress yourself. It's all about making yourself enjoy what it is that you're doing, okay? I love to try new things, right? I like to work on these cars and push the envelope and do things that maybe I'm not super comfortable with or even know how to do, but I do the shit. And I do it because it makes me feel better. I do the same thing in my life in general, in my own home, with my kids, with my family. You can't get stagnant in life. That's all I'm saying. I get it. This channel is about, honestly, Fox Body Mustangs, obviously. I understand that money really drives the world. It is. I mean, you got to have money, okay? And sometimes people don't have the money, nor do they have the skills. But here's the thing. This thing that you're watching this video on right now, more than likely it's probably going to be your cell phone or either your TV or something. But take that cell phone that you got in your hand right now and learn some shit. How do you think I've done all this stuff to these cars? Do you think I was born with the ability to paint cars and build an engine or weld or do any of this? No. Nobody knows how to do anything until you do it for the first time. I need you to remember that. Don't ever tell me, well, I don't know how to do it. Well, hell, I didn't know how to do it the first time. I didn't know how to weld until I welded. I didn't know how to build an engine until I built an engine. It's a piss poor excuse, if you ask me. Oh, boy. I got to stop because we're going to get into church tonight. I don't want to go there tonight. But, getting back to what we were talking about, sorry. I got the hat on backwards, and here we go with this shit, right? Oh, shit. Are we not charging? I need to charge my phone. Hold on. I hope we're charging. All right, so, damn. What's up with the lines? Hold on. There we go. All right, so I'm going to read back through the comments tonight because I ran my mouth while you guys were answering on, as far as what you want to see with these cars. Here's my thought process. Once Andrew gets to where, he's not working as much overtime and me either, I think what we're going to do is we're going to start out with the red car versus Andrew's black car. If you guys don't know, Andrew's black and gray car was my old car. I gave that car to him when he was 16. I love that car. I love it. That was one of my favorite cars, probably one of my favorite builds, actually. And I'm so happy that Andrew has it right now. And to be honest with you, we're gonna go in and we're gonna redo this car. We have the paint over here in the cabinet, and this thing's gonna be pretty nice whenever we're done. But that's a fast freaking car, and that's one of the cars that I always kind of reference whenever I tell you guys it doesn't take a lot of money to go fast. Is I'm referencing Andrew's car. Gary at 704. You're my third favorite YouTuber ever. Oh Lord have mercy. And somebody else here. So Soy says that love the channel, brother. Keep up the amazing content. True inspiration to the community. I appreciate it. That's all I've ever wanted to do is be an inspiration to you guys. Here's a guy from Southwest Georgia that didn't have a pot to piss in and grew up with nothing and just learned everything because I wanted to, because I felt like I could. Okay, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this. There's your proof right there. Anyway, getting back to the whole Andrew thing. So I'm kind of always torn, on the whole Andrew car, like on his car whenever we talk about racing or doing whatever, because, I love that car. I want that car to do good. But at the same time, I don't want Andrew to beat me, but I want to be honest with you guys. Andrew's little car, which is nothing more than a stock bottom end 302 GT40 heads, I think 150 shot, a B303 cam, and now he has a TKO 600 that we got from Neo in the car. Guys, that freaking car it's crazy. It's crazy how fast that car is. His car beat this car on like 13 pounds of boost or some shit. Like, this car's nasty, right? So I kind of always root for it. But anyway, I feel like what we're going to do to start with is probably run the red and silver car, so the Retro Fox, against his car, and he's going to beat that car. I mean, I'm sure he is. But I want to run him to see where that car stacks up. And then I want to run him on the gray car. I think it'll be a good run, but I think Andrew may nudge it out. We'll see. Guys, 15 pounds of boost is a lot of boost. 150 shot is freaking nasty, though. Nitrous is just different. It's built different. I'm telling you. As nasty as 15 pounds is, he's going just as fast on a lot cheaper setup, okay? I'm just trying to show you guys different options, okay? And I like superchargers, but ultimately, that nitrous car is probably going to outrun that car. I don't know. We'll see. Now, here's the final test. Final test is going to be that car. I believe, and I know, if this car is running correctly and it's got its fuel system like it needs to and it hooks, it should outrun Andrew's car. By how much, I don't know. It's probably going to actually end up being pretty close. I don't see it being more than a car and a half to 2 cars at the most, okay? That's the game plan, and I don't know when this is going to happen, but that's going to be basically our next adventure, is to get all these things back out again and test all these cars. Like I said, it may be the first of the year before we do that. We also got to get the 65 back on the channel and go ahead and finish up the body work on that and get it ready to paint as well. So, yeah, a 2.3 build would be cool. It sure would. E-cam, B-cam or nothing. E-cam or B-cam? Indecisive. It depends. So, we'll cover that. I think, an E-cam... E-cam is good for automatic or 5-speed. If you're going to go automatic, though, and I wouldn't put the B-cam in it unless you got a stall. B-cam's got a decent amount of duration, and believe it or not, it's not that great for an AOD, unless you have a stall, of course. Need to build a 2.3 turbo. Wow, you guys are killing that. Drawing, can we have a game? Sure, yeah, we could do a drawing. You guys want to do a quick giveaway tonight on a T-shirt? I'm sure my wife won't care, so she handles all the merchandise. But, yeah, we can do a T-shirt giveaway. I tell you what, speaking of which, if you guys don't mind, go over to shopbrutal.com tonight and pick yourself up a new shirt. Now, obviously, this isn't one of my new ones, but we do have hoodies. We got some new designs on the hoodies and the T-shirts and stuff like that. Also, we're going to do some more simple stuff. We're just going to do, what's a slogan or what's something that you guys think would be good for the channel? I thought about doing something along the lines of, just go beat on it or something like that, because, that's something I always say. go beat on it. Some simple little, slogan that you guys might would like. We can absolutely make that happen. Will an 86 K member frame swap work on a 99 swap? Yeah, I think it will, actually. I'm not 100% sure on that, man, but I do think it will because, they're a Fox chassis car. So if anybody else wants to pipe in on that, will an 86 stock K member work in a 99 swap? Yeah. 10-4. I need to win. Got to rep the brand. Yeah, beat it. Yeah, go beat on it. Sounds kind of naughty. Exactly. That's kind of the thing. The 22nd is the LMR Cruise In. So, guys, I will be in Texas at Texas Motor Speedway for the LMR Cruise In. Myself, Foxcast Media. I know Leach Motorsports is going to be there as well. So you guys are welcome to come out. And also, I don't know if LMR's released it yet, but we got a little bit of a surprise for you Fox Body guys. So it's going to be pretty cool this year. I'll let them disclose that first, and then I'll release that information afterwards. Let's bust this thing off. Yeah, that's something that we definitely say on here. Just touch the key. I don't know. I don't say that much on the channel, but that's something that I grew up saying. Like on a good, like if you got a carbureted car and it's tuned good, right, and you can just reach out there and touch the key on it, like reach through the door, and just touch the key on a cold morning and it start. Like the way we always said, you could just touch the key. So you just touch the key on it, and this thing will bust right off and sit there and idle. That's how you know you got a carburetor tuned right. Anyway, all right, let's go ahead and do a quick giveaway, guys. Let's do hashtag shirt, okay? Hashtag shirt. You guys go ahead and hit it up right now. And whoever the winner is, if you will, just email me at brutalvlogs@gmail.com and tell me what size you want. It will, I don't know, we'll surprise you on what shirt it will be. How about that? Because we've got some extras. So hashtag shirt. Yeah. So, as it stands right now, I think we're going to try to be, we're going to try to be there Friday. So we'll have, Friday night, probably Friday night we'll try to hang out, a little bit. Maybe if you guys want to like meet up and, have like a little cruise or pre-meet, if you will. Maybe Friday night we can do that. It just depends. I'm pretty much bringing my whole family, so, we may have to do the family thing. We may end up going shopping or something, but I will definitely be there all day Saturday. And I know Saturday night, myself and Caleb, Foxcast Media, are going to get together. So, but like I said, probably Friday night and then Saturday, I'll be around in Texas. So, voice of the people. Is 10K for an original 68 GT 3-speed a good deal? I have an opportunity. 68, I suppose you mean an 86. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. 10K for a really original 86 GT. Is that an 86 or a 3? Hold on now. You're saying 68. A 68 GT would have only been a fastback because they didn't make a GT. Or did they? Yeah, they did. Yeah, they had the... crap, I can't think. But yeah, clarify on that for me. All right. Let's go ahead and pick a winner. I'll pick the winner tonight because I don't know if my wife's watching or not. You guys see that my eyes are closed. And Adam Cartwright. Adam Cartwright, you are the winner of the shirt. So, like I said, if you will, just email us at brutalvlogs@gmail.com. Tell me what size you want. And, if you want it signed or whatever, we can do that as well. Just let me know. And we'll go ahead and get that shirt out to you, man. I don't know which one it'll be just yet, but it'll be a surprise. How about that? I'm sure my wife's like, really? Something else to ship out? All right, guys, the drawing is over. Adam Cartwright, if I'm not mistaken, was the name. So you won. Wow, are we that far behind? Yeah, 390 coupe. Okay. Well, that's Mustang guy. So if this was a GT coupe car, yes, it's absolutely worth that. I have a overhead console GT 60 67 67 GTA, came factory with a 390 overhead console car, GT car, 10 grand. Yeah, I'd say it's absolutely worth that. Yeah, congratulations. Yeah, voice of the people. Yeah, your question, I guess. But if it's a 68 GT, there you go. Yeah, you guys, if you don't mind, go over tonight or tomorrow sometime and check out shopbrutal.com. Pick yourself up a hat, a hoodie, a shirt, something like that. It just helps support the channel. That's all. We got a lot of leftover inventory. We're horrible at advertising when it comes to this type of stuff. So if you guys don't mind, just go over and check out something, pick up something cheap. That's fine. Starting to lose my voice. I feel it coming. Voice of the people. No, I'm in a 68 GT with an original 302 3-speed. Yes, it's worth that. If it's a 68, it's definitely worth it. So, those cars are really becoming hard to find. The 67, 68 coupes are, they're out there, but they're definitely becoming hard to find. The fastbacks were the car that everybody wanted. And it seems to me like the coupes really took a back seat and, maybe people crushed them or just let them sit and rot. There's not a lot of good examples of them out there. And if it's a GT car, then absolutely, man, for sure. Kaboom, I appreciate it. Says he's wearing a hat right now. I need a cheat sheet shirt. Sean, I think we have some cheat sheet shirts left. I don't think we're going to have time for a new design per se. A lot of times before we go to these events, we'll have a new design. Okay, that's something else. That leads me to the next thing. We cannot sell merchandise at the event. Okay, Texas Motor Speedway will not let us sell merchandise. So myself, Foxcast, LMR, we're not selling merch. Just so you know. I don't know. It may be to where I can say some stuff, maybe from the hotel. I'm not sure. I'm not going to break any rules or anything like that. But it's not an LMR issue. It's the Texas Motor Speedway issue. So, yeah, in theory, we could probably sell some merchandise or something like that up there in Texas, but just definitely not at the meet. Now, there again, I'll have to verify on that. If that's something that, was frowned upon, we won't even do that, okay? Love the older styles. Yeah, I agree. Swapping injectors are eBay 24-pound injectors. Wizard. Okay, so the 24-pound injector eBay things are trash. So we only have a small size left of that one. Yeah, you may have to just kind of get what you get on that. But all right, well, look, guys, congratulations to Adam on the shirt. I just wanted to do a live stream tonight for you guys that are up late, and I just like to do shit. Moments of spontaneity are just my thing, man. That's what I love to do. I never, like I said before, I never write anything down. We never plan anything out. It is what it is. Now, tomorrow, like I said, I will be doing a podcast with the Infamous Project, and it's just a kind of open discussion with me and him. So you guys tune in. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be live or pre-recorded. I'm not sure exactly how he's going to do it, but either way, be looking forward to that. Tonight I really wanted to address the fact of, why I am the way that I am. If you're wondering and you're watching this now, you're like, why is this thing titled this way? Go back to probably around the 5 to 10 minute mark, and I will talk about why I do things the way that I do. And I guess something else I can touch on is, why I build these cars the way that I do them, why they are not perfect cars, and why it seems to maybe some of you, why half-ass stuff. And I know that's not for everybody. I know there's a lot of you guys that are so anal about the way you do things. I'm not that guy. I'm just not. There are certain things that I'm pretty anal about. Maybe paint, you know. I like my paint to be good. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it does need to be good. You know, you look down the side of the Calypso, and she's pretty straight, guys. I really take pride in doing some quick body work, you know, and getting these things looking good. But at the same time, you know, there's a lot of things that I do to these cars that make people question what I'm doing. They're like, why in the hell does this guy do what he does? Why would you not take the time to do this? Here's the reality of it, okay? I just don't give a shit. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. I don't care about a lot of stuff that a lot of people care about. To me, I want it to look good. I want it to function. Go down the road, and I want to be happy with it. I don't buy into what the internet tells me I need to do, or what's popular amongst Facebook groups, or what you've seen in, you know, threads and forums over the years. Nakia, which is my name, aka Brutal, doesn't buy into that shit, and I suggest you guys don't either. Do whatever hell makes you happy, okay? I don't build my cars to make other people happy. I do what needs to be done for me to be happy. And sometimes, you know, it doesn't work out. A good example is the green car here. You know, we kind of took this car too far, and I just don't really like the current setup and the current build of this car, but I build them the way that I want to. This was one of the first times that I went above and beyond outside of what I was comfortable doing and what I knew, and it blew up in my face, guys. So, you know, build these cars the way that I want to build them. They're not perfect, but I feel like a lot of people can relate to it, right? You know, I can't stress this enough. I'm not a perfectionist when it comes to stuff. And I'll give you a good example of this. You know, look under the engine bay of this car. Whatever, right? Wires, hoses, and shit. I don't really care. It works, right? It just doesn't bother me. It doesn't keep me up at night. Something else. Look at that. Yeah, look at that, guys. So, right? You got to do things. You got to know yourself. This goes back to what I was talking about earlier. I'm about to wrap this up, but it's all in your head, okay? What's important to you is all in your head. You can alter all of that, and you can change it. You know, you can spend 10 years restoring a Fox body and $50,000. If that makes you happy, that's cool. Or maybe you're one of those guys that's pretending that you're one of those guys, and you're not. You're a guy that would rather spend $2 or $3 grand and just slap this shit together and get it on the road. Be aware of who you are, and I promise you your life is going to be so much easier. Don't try to be somebody you're not. Most of us are not the guys that can spend $30,000, $40,000 on one of these cars and take 5 to 10 years to do it, or whatever the case may be. Be real with yourself, and I promise you, you'll be a lot happier with who you are and the outcome of whatever the hell it is you got. Also, remember, you can redo these damn things, okay? It's not the end of the world. You don't do it one time and you only get one shot at it. You can redo these damn things. You do something to it and you regret it, fix it. Fix it later. It's okay. It's all right. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Thank you all so much. I do appreciate it. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video where we drive the Carbon Fox with the meth injection. I think that's a pretty good video. And also, I will be live with Infamous Project, so be looking forward to that as well. Shout out to Gearhead704. I think he spent like $100 tonight supporting me. So you guys go check Gearhead704 out. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. And as always, thanks for watching.